What is going on, sports fans, and welcome back to another Galaxy of Heroes video with my big squishy ball. We're going to be talking about the We're going to be talking about the raid. It is due in like 2 weeks, guys. Not even 2 weeks. So we're getting a new legendary unit, and the raid will launch immediately afterwards. So the question remains, there is no time to farm the brand new teams that are coming out for this raid. So what do? You rely on your boy Scribs. Let's go over raid teams real quick. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in case you were not aware, we have a Slicer bundle arriving. No, we've got the new raid. So essentially what is happening, ladies and gentlemen, if we head over here to the events tab, we can see that, look at that wonderful Crimes Against the Republic. Look at that wonderful Crimes Against the Republic. No, Twilight of the Jedi 2, the special marquee event that is coming for Depa Billaba over here next Tuesday, a week after which is the 24th. It is going to be a milestone in Galaxy of Heroes history. That milestone is the BMF of Mace Windu himself will be joining the game, and the very next day the new raid launches. And the number of teams that are available to us for that particular raid is not exactly bountiful, shall we say. Here is the list of characters that we have available for the new Order 66 raid, and you would not be happy to see that essentially every single one of these teams is a brand new marquee, most of which are not even farmable effectively at this point. You've got all of the Dark Side clones, only Apo is currently farmable through hard node farming. You've got the new Bad Batch, all of which are farmable, but they are brand new characters and only recently became farmable about a month back. You have got the new Jedi Vanguard characters. I say characters, we've only got one of them in the game so far, so we're not going to have those units farmable for about 2 months yet. And then Jedi Master Mace Windu, who's not even in the game yet, he comes in a little bit time. And then we've got the Pirate faction, who are completely without a leader and have no synergy with each other whatsoever. So essentially, if you haven't got new teams, you're kind of up the creek without a paddle. So the Order 66 raid, I've gone through and I've set up a couple of teams that I'm going to be testing out with a couple of caveats, and I want to put this out for the pay-to-play players and the free-to-play players and those people that are just kind of in between. So this is from the perspective of somebody that has been wailing on the new units. What are you looking like you're going to be getting? First and foremost, if you've wailed on the new marquees and you're going to wail on Depa Billaba, obviously you're going to get Jedi Master Mace Windu. I recommend taking him at least to Relic 9 for the new event, probably Relic 8 at a minimum, to Relic 7 at a minimum, sorry, to get advantage of the Era of the Crimes of the Republic battle so that you can start earning yourself some extra droid brains, Girder keypads, Omicrons, millions of credits. It'll all be great, right? But you throw him in with Jocasta New if you've got her. If not, you're going to have to bring someone up. The only persons that you cannot bring into that Jedi Master Mace Windu team, if you're using Aayla Secura, is going to be no Kelleran Beck and no Kit Fisto, okay? Any other Jedi Vanguard will work. Then, of course, Aayla Secura, she has had a little bit of a touch-up, a new rework with a brand new unique over here. Make sure you guys get this maxed out with the Zeta on it. Absolutely worthwhile, but only under Jedi Master Mace Windu, okay? Next up, the Jedi Vanguard faction. Now, thankfully, this is the only saving grace of this raid, is the Jedi Vanguard faction that they have given us are those that we've been using already for the Battle for Naboo raid. So if you have Kelleran Beck, he's going to be your second leader. He has got his own hero ability for this new raid. It gives him 25 additional speed whilst he has 100% health. That means he's going to be attacking a lot, lots of assists, lots of good business. And this team is going to be ramping offense whenever they have buffs. So you want a lot of buffs on this team. That's why I'm throwing in people like Barriss and Shaq and all these people, even Qui-Gon Jinn, for instance, can pass buffs to the team. This is also a team that is full of older characters apart from Kelleran Beck himself. So you're not looking at a boatload of Kyrotech, you're looking at relatively easy gear and lots of characters that are both good in the meta or required for farming. Plo Koon, for example, he is required for GL Ahsoka Tano. Barriss Offee is just a very, very good Jedi, and she has a good level 9 DC Datacron at this point. Qui-Gon Jinn, he is a GAC Omicron that's been around for time eternal and is a very, very useful guy to have in your roster. So I do recommend this is the priority farm, in my opinion, for anybody that is just looking to get their toes wet. After that, we're looking at clones, guys. This is the next team. I would recommend farming the clones before you start on the Bad Batch. I know that the clones are not available yet, but each of these clones are going to be coming free to play farmable every 2 weeks from now. All right, so every 2 weeks, we're going to have a new clone, a new clone, a new clone available to farm. You want to hit the ground running. This team is going to be a top performer. I can almost guarantee it. And it uses Grand Moff Tarkin, who's a very old character that many people will have got lots of investments in already. On the plus side, if you've got Lord Vader, you'll get yourself a fantastically good meta team. And you will also get yourself 2 3v3 teams, both of which can perform very, very well. Moff Tarkin, after his rework for the Dark Side clones, is actually very good as a unit, and he's got his own Omicron. So I do recommend saving up and going for these before going for Bad Batch, okay? The second reason why I say go for the Dark Side clones before going for Bad Batch is because you can work on these systematically, and if you haven't already done it, it'll help you unlock Jedi Master Mace Windu when he comes back in about 3 months' time. All right, he's not coming back monthly as far as we are aware. 3 months' time. So you want to try and get, if you don't have Mace Windu now, you want to try and get him in his next appearance so you can use him in the raid. You need to farm these 4 clones and these 3, Depa Billaba over here, Jedi Vanguard characters in the next 3 months, basically. I know that can be tricky. You need to be doing at least 2 refreshes a day of each of these clones, and hopefully you'll get to a point where you can actually get them unlocked for free. Do not forget to do the era battles for Crimes Against the Republic. That's going to give you an opportunity to get some additional shards, even if you're only doing it at the earliest levels. Good. After that, I'd say farm Bad Batch. Reason I'm saying Bad Batch is a low priority farm right now is just because whilst they are pretty good in PvP environments, actually, and PvE, they're not bad in the slightest. They don't actually lead to anything. They don't have an era battle. They're not required for a legendary unlock. They are just fully farmable. That's about the best thing that I can say for them. You can farm each of the character shards. Not saying don't do it, but I'm saying prioritize getting the clones and the new Jedi first. Okay? That's where I would go from a pay-to-play perspective. And finally, you do have pirates. You can have these if you want, but you're not going to get massive, massive return on investment on these guys. If you are big boy whaling, you're going to be getting them anyway, right? You're going to be getting SM33. You'll get, in a month's time, the latest pirate leader that's coming to the game. But you won't be able to use them realistically, at least not to a very high degree in the new raid, until we've got full teams running. So for now, I would say ignore the pirate faction. The best case scenario is you'll be able to take them at tier 1, maybe tier 0, maybe tier 2, maybe get a couple of 100,000 points, at best. So for the free-to-play player, I'm telling you right now, the most important thing you can do is farm Keller and Beck. Just farm Keller and Beck, guys. He is a harder character to farm, but he is accelerated at this point. You will get double his shard drops. He is required for Bo-Katan Mandalore, who's still a very, very good character to have in all game modes, PvP, PvE, all of it. And when you get her, you can help unlock Mandalore in Rise of the Empire TV, which will give you access to recurring Chirotech, a chunk of Chirotech, 100 Chirotech every 2 weeks. It makes a massive difference to your account, believe me, guys. But farm this guy. He is a hard node farm. He is accelerated. I would double refresh this node just to get him accelerated, okay? After that, the Jedi Vanguard faction is actually quite wide. There are about 13 characters in the Jedi Vanguard faction, and most of them are very old, easy-to-gear characters. So I would focus on those characters that you are able to farm up and gear up quickly. That's why I'm saying use people like Ayla Secura over here. Pretty sure she is on like the Mark 1 guild currency token farm over here. Farm her. Farm Plo Koon. He sometimes appears in Fleet Store and stuff like that. Farm Kit Fisto. I think he's like yeah, that's it. He's on Cantina Store as well as being in the guild store. So you can farm this guy up so quickly if you really want to. Same for Barrisofi. She's a fantastic unit. All of these guys are actually good unit. Well, no, Kit Fisto's not a good unit. He's terrible. Don't worry about him. But I mean, I'm showing you 2 teams here. The Qui-Gon Jinn and the Keller and Beck team, both at Relic 5, just so you can split them. You don't actually have to do this. Build one team at a time. Get Qui-Gon Jinn into this Keller and Beck team at first until you start building out the rest. Shakti is a bit harder. She is on Fleet, and I find Fleet nodes are a little bit more of a pain to get through. But they're all accelerated at this point, or they're able to be purchased through stores. Luminara Unduli is like Galactic War or something like that. Get these characters farmed up and just take them to like Relic 5. At Relic 5, you can score 1.2 million points. And I'll have guides out on how to win with these earlier teams to a good degree, right? Without having to go crazy modding, hopefully. And if you think about that tier R5, just having one team in your guild is 1.2 million points if you max that run. Times that by the 50 players in your guild, and I think you're getting like, oh my gosh, what was it? Was it 1.2 million? And you times that by 50, 60 million points essentially for your guild if you're to do that. So if we're to take a look at what 60 million will get you, it will easily clear tier 5, giving you 2,000 Mark III raid currency, and it will get you very close to tier 6, which you could probably make up that difference. An extra 3.5 million points out of a guild of 50 really isn't a whole lot. That is one more team run at the 300,000, and you'll blow past that. Potentially, if you're running multiple teams as well, you could probably hit tier 7, right? And you could get up to 2,500 Mark III currency and already cap out on the raid Mark 1 and Mark 2 currency. You just need to focus on one character at a time as you farm up those Jedi Vanguard characters, and then look to focus down on the new characters, okay? Farm out just to Relic 5, ladies and gentlemen. Just to Relic 5. Let me get back over here. Farm out just to Relic 5 on these kind of characters, right? Get one team, maybe get two if you're feeling generous, then work on the clones, then work on the Jedi. By the time you are done with this, all of these characters should be farmable. If you have the spare energy, use it to farm the things like the clones, okay? Ignore Bad Batch for now. I don't recommend people farm Bad Batch unless they really want to. Focus on the characters that are going to help you unlock Mace. If you have the spare crystals to refresh, I recommend refreshing those hard nodes to accelerate the pace at which you can get to it. Yes, and I want to make this absolutely clear. Let's go big screen, baby, because it's big screen important news times. In order to do this, you will need to refresh energy. You will need to refresh hard nodes. That's going to cost 25 crystals for a hard node to refresh it once for an extra 5 sims, 50 crystals if you refresh twice per character on a hard node. That is a cost that you're going to have to bear, not financially speaking, just crystal cost. If that means you have to sacrifice things like going for your Galactic Legend, going for that legendary farm that you've been working on the next ship that you're trying to get. Maybe you're trying to get Leviathan or Executor or Profundity or something like that. That is the barrier to entry, guys. That's the barrier to entry. You can't have your cake and eat it. You can't do both farms, all right? So what I'd recommend you try and do is if you are close to finishing a farm, say you're just about to get your Executor, you're like 3-4 weeks away from Executor, finish that farm, get your Executor. But after that, forget about anything else and farm your raid characters. And the reason I am imploring you heavily to farm your raid characters is because raids is the single best investment that you can do in this game. It's better, well, apart from maybe getting into first in fleet, it's far better than getting a good TB team. It's far, far better than trying to perform better in GAC. Because in order to perform better in GAC, you need to have the income into your account in order to level up the characters that you need to perform well in GAC. You'll find that if you just try and invest, say you're like, oh, I need to have Starkiller so I can beat Rey. That might help you out 2 battles out of an entire GAC. Maybe you win 1 or 2 battles out of a GAC because you happen to have gone Starkiller. But because you went Starkiller, you delayed a raid team for 3 months. You're now getting far worse raid rewards for 3 months for the sake of a couple of 100 crystals. It's not worth it, guys. Trust me, it isn't worth it. Getting into the raids, earning that Mark III raid currency, getting higher scores is what will help you do better in every game mode. It really will. It's the same concept as fleet. Investing in a good fleet, getting 400 crystals a day because you hit first in fleet, meaning you can power up your roster at a faster pace. That is so much more true of raids, far better than investing in TB. TB is a bottomless pit. That's the last priority anybody should be focusing on, unless you just love TB. Unless you just love TB, right? It's a little bit different when you look at it from the perspective of, oh, maybe I just get a couple of Gear 12 characters so I can get Gen like Cal unlocked, so I can take him to Relic 7 along with Seer to Relic 7 so I can unlock Zepho, and then eventually we can go ahead and get those rewards from Zepho. Finally remembered the name of the planet. I've got a great guide on that. You should probably check it out. But anyway, guys, raids are super important. Even if you don't enjoy the characters, doesn't matter. The longer you delay on raids, the worse off you're going to be. So invest in them now and try to farm it sensibly. Get the low-hanging fruit, first of all, and as you have got that low-hanging fruit, start working on the juicy teams. Ignore the Bad Batch is my personal recommendation. Shove them off until you're ready for it. Focus on the newer characters. Dark Side clones, because you've already got Tarkin most likely as a very early game character. Focus on the Jedi Vanguard as they come, and because you've already built up these Jedi Vanguard characters over here as part of the early game farm that I'm telling you to do, when you get Mace Windu, you've already got your Ayla. You've already got her, you've sorted her, right? She's already done and dusted, and then it's just straight into that Jedi Master Mace Windu team. If you can get him in 3 months' time, it is a tall order, because many of the characters will only be around farmable for about 6 weeks before he comes back, depending on when he does, because it's a little bit iffy squiffy. But you're going to have to go hard on these characters, and that will mean making sacrifices to your farms. You just have to do it that way, guys. So, a minimum, when these hard-node characters are out, like Apo, for example, he is now available. Boop-ba-dip-ba-doo. Here's light side. You'll have to go ahead, sim this at least 15 times a day. All right, at least. Do 2 crystal refreshes on him. If you do that, you should be earning an average of 5 shards a day. 5 shards a day per character. Let's say you did no additional farming, you didn't beat the tier 1 event of Nightfall Era at all, so you never got the additional shards. That means you need to earn 280 character shards for that character, right? 280 divided by 5 means you've got 56 days right now to farm a character up to 7-star if you hit the average, which you will. I know people will be like, yeah, but I got 0 shards. Shut up. Shut up. It's not how averages work. That's not how probability works. Basically, it'll take you about 56 days, which is going to be a tight turnaround, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm looking at a worst case scenario. Nobody ever completed any tiers of anything. Nobody purchased any sort of battle pass for the game, the episode pass. Nobody got any of that juicy business. There are no double drops that are existing and all that sort of business. That's how long it's going to take you to get Apo from now until when he drops. Now, I do fully envisage that at least one character from each team is going to go to Cantina, which means you're going to have to sacrifice Cantina energy to farm it. And that's actually okay in this instance, simply because Mace Windu only requires Relic 5 for the unlock, not Relic 7, not Relic 8, not Relic 9. Relic 5 is the barrier to entry, okay? So pretty low-hanging fruit there. Go ahead and grab that as soon as possible. You will basically have 28 days to get Depa Billaba when she goes free to play farmable until Mace comes back, technically speaking. That's not a lot of time. You're going to have to do a lot of refreshes or hope against hope that Depa Billaba is available in Cantina. Okay? So when Depa Billaba drops, you're going to have to try and put aside crystals to accelerate her farm further. Okay, the same is going to kind of be true of Temple Guard, but you should still have over a month to farm him, essentially. 2 weeks more than Depa Billaba. So that's going to be my recommendations, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, I do hope it's going to be useful. Make sure you stick around. I will be doing a live day 1 run of the brand new raid. We'll be going over all that juicy business as well as the unlock for Mace. So hopefully I will see you all there live on my Twitch or my YouTube. Peace out, everybody. May the Force be with you, baby.